Hey guys, George from SoundTraxx here. Today we're going to talk about function mapping. Now last video we talked about index CVs and what they mean, and we talked briefly about function mapping. Now function mapping is in CVs 1.257 all the way up to CVs 1.484. Now this has a myriad of different things that it can do, so let's take a look at it. First of all, we're at this E8. Out of the package, we've got the headlight wired to the headlight function, and then we have the number boards wired to the FX3 and the Mars light wired to the FX4. Now, on most controllers, this is going to be controlled by function 0 when the locomotive is moving forward for the headlight, and functions 24 for the FX3 and function 25 for the FX4 lighting effects. Now, to do this with your command station is going to vary based on which brand you have. In this case, with the NCE, we're going to push and hold the Shift key and the 0 key, and in our window we're going to see F10 through F19, and that means that the 0 through 9 key now is controlling functions 10, 11, 12, 13, and so on all the way up to 19. So we do this a second time, we push the Shift and the 0 key a second time, and that's going to trigger into 20 through 28. Now the 0 through 8 keys correspond to function 20, 21, 22, and so forth, all the way up to function 28. So now, to illuminate our Mars light, as I mentioned, this is function 25. So I'm going to push the 5 key, and you're going to notice that my Mars light comes on. Now, what function mapping allows us to do is to reassign what buttons are controlled by what. So let's say, for argument's sake, on this locomotive, I want all of my lights on the front end of the locomotive controlled by function 0. Now we can do this in our function mapping. So what we're going to do is we're going to take CVs 1.259 for the FX3 lighting effect and 1.260 for the FX4 lighting effect. Now the way this works is the value of the CV actually corresponds to the button that now controls it. So now to do this, we're going to program CV 1.259. So first, we're going to program CV32 to a value of 1. Now we're going to program CV259 to a value of 0. And then for the FX5, CV260. Notice I did not have to program CV32 again. CV32 is already set to 1. So now I'm going to take CV260 and set it to a value of 0. And if you notice, the Mars light went out. That's because on my controller I do not have the headlight on. But now when I push the 0 key after I exit out of programming, you're going to see that all of those lights now come on together as one unit. That's how function mapping works. You can take any of our functions and assign it to any button. So if, for argument's sake, if you want to take the headlight and assign it to function 28, you can do that with our products. Simply find the headlight CV, in this case CV 1.257, and set it to a value of 28, and now function 28 will control the headlight. Same with the bell, the horn, any of the other effects on there can be reassigned to any button. Look at your chart in the user's guide, and the CV will assign to the effect, and the value of that CV now controls which button controls that effect. Now the other part of function mapping involves auto effects, and this allows the decoder to trigger sound effects or lighting effects automatically in certain conditions. Now, the decoder will exist in one of 4 conditions at all times: moving in the forward direction, moving in the reverse direction, stopped in the forward direction, and stopped in the reverse direction. Now, with CVs 1.385 and on, you can actually set these lighting effects and sound effects to come on automatically when the locomotive state changes. So for example here, we're going to use the automatic whistle signal for moving in the forward direction. This is CV 1.407. Now, the way this CV is structured is a value of 1 enables the effect when moving forward. A value of 2 will enable the effect when moving in reverse. A value of 4 will enable the effect when stopped in the forward direction. And a value of 8 will enable the effect when stopped in the reverse direction. Now the other part of this is a value of 16 will enable the effect when the emergency stop light is hit. This will allow you to trigger any type of sound effect, including the air dump, or trigger an emergency light whenever the emergency stop happens. So for our example today, CV 1.407, we're going to set to a value of 1, and that's going to trigger our automatic whistle signal when the locomotive is moving forward. Now, to do this, we're going to set CV 32 to a value of 1, and now we're going to set CV 407 to a value of 1. And that value of 1, as we discussed, is going to be on when the locomotive is moving in the forward direction. So now with my brakes set, we're going to move forward, we're going to release our brakes, and you're going to hear that horn signal set. So now that you've understood how function mapping works, be sure to take a chart and write together your list of what buttons you want to do what effects. Then compare that to the CVs in our user's guide at SoundTraxx.com, and you'll be able to build a function mapping chart that's right for you and your railroad. Now, for more information on what we've just talked about, please visit our website at SoundTraxx.com and go under the Manuals tab, and you're going to see active manuals for all of our current product explaining all of the features we've talked about today. Now, if you get stuck or need help, our support department is a phone call away or an email away. If you call 970-259-0690, press extension 22 and you'll get Josh or myself on the phone. If you'd like to send an email, send us an email at support@soundtraxx.com. Now, please like and subscribe to our channel for more content, and also please comment below if you have any questions or need some help. Thank you for watching.